All right, we're going to talk about the officer-involved shooting last night in the 2500 block of West Dallas. Shortly before 7 o'clock last night, members of the Scat South unit were on patrol in the area of Kincaid and Broadway when they believed they spotted a stolen vehicle in one of the parking lots. The unit started to conduct surveillance on the vehicle, and the vehicle left the parking lot. The SCAT unit attempted to stop the car at Mount Vernon and Water, where the vehicle will originally stop. As the officers began to exit their vehicle, the suspect vehicle will take off at a high rate of speed. A chase will ensue for several minutes, reaching speeds of 90 to 100 miles an hour. The officers will lose the vehicle somewhere in the area around 27th and St. Paul. Additional officers will respond to the area, do a canvass in the area where the stolen vehicle will be located in the 2500 block of West Dallas. Additional search of that area for the suspect will be conducted by officers, and the suspect will not be located. Over the next several hours, as crime scene investigators are processing the stolen vehicle in the 2500 block of Dallas, shortly after 11 o'clock, a 64-year-old female will be awoken by noises at her back door. She will then look out one of her windows and will see a male on her back porch. This female at that time will call family members who live a short distance away and tell them that there is someone trying to break into her house. These family members will respond to the residence, where at that time the daughter and the son-in-law will go into the backyard and find a male hiding in a shed in the backyard. About the same time they are finding this male in the backyard, the homeowner will call 911 and report a burglary in progress. There are still two officers at the scene recovering and impounding the stolen auto, which is just 2 or 3 houses away. These officers will respond to the burglary in progress, and as they start to approach the house and approach the backyard, the suspect will observe the officers and will start running south and west through the backyard of this residence. The officers will give pursuit on foot to the suspect. The suspect will go around a large unattached garage in the backyard of the residence. At that time, the officers will split. One of the officers will go in the same direction that the suspect ran. The other officer will cut towards the front of the garage and attempt to cut him off. As the first officer, who is chasing the suspect on foot, rounds the back of the garage, the suspect will stop running, and he will turn towards the officer, and he will be armed with a handgun. At that time, the suspect, we believe, fires one shot at the officer, and the officer will return fire at the suspect, striking him several times. The suspect was transported to St. Francis Hospital, where he was taken to surgery and is in serious condition at this time.
What's the suspect, Tom?
I'm sorry?
How old's the suspect?
He's a 31-year-old white male.
Why is it right now that you feel as though it's connected to this stolen vehicle from earlier?
The suspect is known to the officers. He has a extensive history with the Wichita Police Department. The suspect actually had a federal warrant out for his arrest. Officers had obtained information that the suspect may be in a stolen vehicle matching the one in which they observed at Kincaid and Broadway. And through other evidence, it points that the suspect was the one in the stolen vehicle that was chased several hours earlier.
And when the officer fires, when he fires at the officers, he didn't hit anyone.
The officer was not struck, no.
And he just fired one time.
Right now, We know that he fired at least one round, yes.
And when the officers fire back, where do they hit him? What part of the body?
No, I'm not going to release that right now.
How many times was he shot?
He was hit 3 times.
What condition?
He's in serious condition right now.
And just the one officer fired, not the second officer?
No, only one officer fired. The second officer had not made it around the building.
Is he expected to live?
Yes.
Do you know any of the details about the federal warrant?
It's for a weapons violation. The suspect was recently indicted on that.
Is he a convicted felon?
Yes, he is.
You know, when that car that he was riding in, when that had been stolen?
When was the reported stolen?
I know it had been a week, if not 2 weeks.
Kind of an obvious question, but obviously he left the stolen vehicle behind at the scene and then escaped on foot. Is that what likely happened?
That is correct.
And he was alone?
Yes.
Can you tell us the type of vehicle it was?
Newer model Camaro. I'm not sure of the exact year.
How long has the officer who was involved in the shooting been with the force?
We'll have to get to that. I did not write that down.
Todd, how long would you say that chase lasted? You said they got speed.
The chase lasted somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes.
And is that mostly on city streets, just neighborhood streets?
Yes.
At those speeds?
Yes. They lost the vehicle, and once they began a canvass of the area, they were able to locate the vehicle unoccupied about 5 to 10 minutes after losing it.
And how long did the search for the suspect take? I know I talked with a person in the neighborhood about 2 hours.
They searched for quite a long time, on foot and in the area with cars. Unable to locate the suspect at that time. They would then go back and process the vehicle with the crime scene investigators.
Sounds like he may have been hiding in that shed or in that block for a while then, huh?
He could have been in that general area, or he was in the general area for about 4 hours.
How old was the homeowner again?
64.
64. And so really the first thing you do when you hear some noise is call your family member. Sorry, I'm being sarcastic.
That sounds like she should call 911 first and then maybe.
Just like, what the hell?
But that's, you probably run into that more often than you like, somebody who calls a friend or family member instead of the 911 first, huh?
That does happen quite frequently.
Been on 2 years.
2 years. And they're, both these officers are members of the SCAT team?
No.
They're just
Neither one of
regular-
these officers were members of the SCAT unit. They were not, neither one of them were ones that were originally involved in the vehicle pursuit. They were assisting the SCAT units by standing by with the crime scene investigators and in impounding the vehicle.
Todd, in a situation like this, do both officers get administrative duty or just the one who fired his weapon?
Just the officer that fired his weapon will be on administrative leave. We'll go through the stress debriefing process.